I didn't like it because I didn't think it was my best. I know what I'm capable of.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So the mutant Nick Walker and the fact that he changed his coach after the Olympia this year, that was already confirmed. And he also posted this story on his IG yesterday. But then he actually made a video segment talking about the whole scenario and just have a look at the comment section. So he kinda went from one of the most likable guy in the IFBB to someone who everyone is calling out now. So when Kyle Wilkes, his former coach, said that Nick had this opinion he did not like the way he looked at the Pittsburgh Pro, many of us thought that there is no way Nick would have said that, because that nearly made him one of the top bodybuilders in the world, where he almost beat the reigning Arnold champion and now the Olympia champion Derek Lunsford. But he actually did. So this segment of his YouTube video, where he talks about what his best look to date was and picking apart his Pittsburgh Pro look, that's like him justifying why he left Kyle. And once again, that's his career and he can't fire anyone or hire anyone he wants to. But maybe it's time to rethink that he has set up those big and very unrealistic expectations that he can win the Olympia, that he can be the top 3 best in the world or top 4 best in the world. I'm gonna say, I'm sorry, but that isn't gonna happen unless there are like 4 guys, even 5, if you consider Martin in there too, who have to show up off. So do we all agree that the Arnold Ohio back in 2021, his first ever Arnold, that was his best look to date, arguably along with the New York Pro that same year, and he said that the show was over as soon as he stepped on the stage.
And that look was good, don't get me wrong, but I could have been leaner, I could have been drier, I could have been harder, and I also probably could have been a little fuller, which is why I think we kind of lost it at night, because we faded pretty hard, in my opinion.
So do you guys remember who was the second place finisher at that show? It was Ian Valier, who actually never placed top 6 at the Olympia throughout his career. A little perspective that is very important here. So Nick Walker actually praising his Arnold Ohio 2023 look, where he lost to Samson Dauda, and picking apart the Pittsburgh Pro look, that is just insane. Now even his own fans, they will take the Pittsburgh Pro look over every other of his previous looks, all day, every day. So it kind of seemed like Nick was trying to do some damage control with this video here. But the fans are kind of turning against him. Yes, it was a bad showing at the Olympia by the mutant. His coach let him down big time. But the same coach, he also helped him become so relevant after the Pittsburgh Pro. He was literally the most hyped up guy going into this year's big show because of the way he looked against Derek Lunsford. So as of right now, he's trying to do his own thing, and maybe he will do a prep all by himself to see how he does, how he compares. So what do you guys think? And let me know what look of the mutant you guys like the most throughout his pro career. Before you scroll or blink too hard, have you subscribed yet? Please don't make me bring out the emotional blackmail. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon. It's free, it's painless, and that makes me look way cooler than I actually am. So this is probably the biggest version of Rafael Brandao checking in during his ongoing off-season, entering a new phase for next year. So when Brandao made the announcement that he's pulling out from this year's Olympia earlier this year, he also said that the Arnold Ohio next year, that will be on his list as a show where he's gonna make his comeback. So last time when Brandao applied the same strategy, I believe it was last year, when he returned to the Arnold Ohio stage in 2024, and that was undoubtedly the best look of his career that we have seen so far. So the physique that he presented at the Arnold last year, that made Tyler Mannion mention and pass these comments on a public platform that Brandao is one of those rare bodybuilders who doesn't have a single week mandatory, who doesn't have a single week shot. Nothing is missing on that physique. He just needs more muscle, more size, and more mass. And the fact is that is not as simple as it seems, as it sounds. So Brandao is more or less similar to a guy like Regan, especially in terms of their growth. He has definitely gotten heavier over the years, and he has also maintained his beautiful lines, but the man is still not big enough to be in the top 6. In fact, if we are being 100% blunt here, Brandao with that same physique that he had in his last Olympia, if you put that same physique here in this year's lineup, he would have struggled to even place top 8, maybe even top 10, because Brandon Curry and Antonio Burton, they were looking pretty damn solid this year, and beating them, that would have been very difficult. So the time off, that will definitely help Brandao, and it was 100% the right call, so that he can bring his best and biggest version ever next year at the Arnold, and most importantly, at the Olympia in October. Andrew Jack checking in from Romania along with his training partner, who has been Kamal for quite some time now, the former 212 and Masters Olympia champion. So rumor is that Kamal really destroyed Andrew Jack in the gym during those training sessions, especially in those last 6 weeks before the Olympia this year. So the condition that Andrew Jack brought to this year's Olympia stage, that was good enough to place him in the top 3, and so many people claiming that he could have won the entire damn thing. And there were some very solid arguments for him winning the Olympia. And the fact is, that kind of condition, it just doesn't come easy for a guy like Andrew, as he has done so many shows since 2022 with that same weakness, that his hamstrings and the glutes, they are never ripped, they are never in. So Andrew must have suffered a lot to bring that kind of look. So with Samson Dauda not doing this upcoming Romania Pro, there should really be a walk in the park for Andrew Jack here in Romania. And he doesn't have to show up 100% in order to win. But considering that he had a really close call against Sazan Hirati at FIBO Germany earlier this year, Andrew and Chris Aceto, I do not think they will take a chance here. And now that Andrew has established himself as a legit Olympia title contender for next year, or for the future, he will have to live up to the hype, his reputation, in every single show that he enters. So, this guy has the most beautiful physique, the most beautiful structure in the men's open at the moment. And in terms of size and the overall width, he was a very clear standout at this past Olympia, even though we have seen him bigger and more fuller than this. So just imagine if he can bring that same kind of condition that we saw from him at the Olympia this year, but he shows up even bigger, even rounder, especially in that lower half. The man is gonna win the whole damn thing. So we have seen some examples in the past where a top IFBB pro, they won the Arnold, and later on, they also won the Olympia. For example, Dexter Jackson back in 2008, Derek Lunsford this year. So can Andrew Jack do the same thing in 2026? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Also, hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.